From the studio that brought you the Wana Savana series comes another 2D platformer installment, Zawadi. Zawadi follows the quest of a black girl jumping through gaps and moving stairs, all to exchange a token for a gift. Witness the jumps from low and high, levels that are not so savanish, and best of all, gifts of no use to anyone. Meet the critics and developers as they break down what can simply be titled Super Mario, all starting in 3, 2, and Dean.
Welcome to Jiwe Roundtables by Jiwe Studios. My name is Dean, Marketing Manager at Jiwe Studios, and this week we'll be featuring Wana Savana. Wana Savana is an interesting African IP of 2D platformers, created by Daniel Masharia at Mashariki Mobility. We have 6 amazing game developers, game enthusiasts, and people just overall within the space who will give feedback on the game. They'll give their thoughts on what's good, what's not so good, and how the game overall can be improved upon for both the game we'll be working on today and other editions. So welcome and stay tuned for more.
Such a pleasure to have all of you here. Customary, I'll start off with a quick round of introductions. I try to do introductions a bit interesting, so just tell us your name, what you do, and the weirdest game development experience you've had. Hopefully all within 30 seconds. Maybe I'll start. My name is Dean, marketing, also producing games. Weirdest game development story would be a certain point sometime back where I received a trailer on mobile, was just about to hit the upload button to YouTube, but then I decided, let me play. And the only thing visible were logos. No video, no nothing, just a black screen and logos. I was like, wow, that would have been a fun mistake to explain to a few hundred viewers. But yeah, I'm sure mine is tame in comparison to what some of you might say. Who'd like to go next? Who would like to go next? I think, George, you were saying something?
I was going to say you put too much pressure. Now I have to think of a story, and all my stories disappeared. Like, immediately you ask, give us a story, all the stories on my head just completely
I'm going to go next.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Johanna Rikiu. I'm a business strategist and a diversity advocate. I came into the gaming industry really randomly via Unity for the last 7 years, and a story about why I'm passionate about gaming in Africa is that I know that gaming can bring self-sufficiency, and really the fact that dreams can be accomplished and executed is one of my purpose and mission to support actually the gaming industry.
Okay, awesome, fantastic. Any dark stories, even from a business standpoint?
From a business standpoint?
Yeah, any weird stories?
Any
weird stories?
Any weird stories?
Yeah.
Weird.
There's always one that you can't even mention the name of the person because it's too weird.
Well, I don't know if it's weird, but what really inspired me is one day someone from the community in, I think, Cameroon asked me for an educational license. And when I sent him a trial, because at that time they didn't have money and it was chargeable, he sent me actually a license, a picture where there were 15 kids around a big laptop learning how to make games. And really, that really touched me because I told myself that if 15 kids in the middle of an African country were really so passionate to learn and make their dream come true, I should actually support as much as I can. It's not weird, but this is actually what inspired me really to support the African gaming industry 5 years ago. Yeah.
Awesome. That's heartwarming. Thank you so much for sharing that. Anyone else? Just name what you do. Interesting story. Come on, guys. You're just smiling. Tell us a story. You're just thinking of weird
I'll go
things that have
next. I'll
happened.
go next. I'll
Just
go
give a
next.
story. I see you, Oscar and Isaac. Give a story. And for devs, I'm sure it's always an engine problem. It's always an engine problem. The engine did something that you didn't understand, and you're like, what the hell is going on?
So I'm George Udongo Here, the lead developer and one of the co-founder and CEO at West Interactive Entertainment. Yeah, we are a company that believes in the potential of Africa, and we really push ourselves to create games, but not only games, but games that empower people and that educate and that entertain. But yeah, just like Joanna, I really want to empower the African industry, see it go places it's never gone before. Make games that have never been made before. But yeah, really make authentic African experiences. But yeah, that's a bit about me. As for stories, let me think of one. The one that keeps on coming to my mind was earlier when I started making the first time I made games. This was a while back, I think in my first year of university. If I'm not wrong, I think the second year, it's the first year, and it was a really weird engine. I can't remember the name of it. I think it was Scratch, but probably not Scratch. Maybe it was something else. But yeah, so the concept of the game was really was very out there. So it's a platformer, and you're like a balloon. And at the time, I was really into drinking and really into partying. And the whole idea is the more drinks, because the collectibles were actually drinks and other stuff along the way. And the more you collect them, the more drunk the balloon became, and he'd become bigger and bigger and bigger till a point where he'd explode. But that was like the weirdest concept for the game, and it ended up getting finished and ended up becoming my first game. But every time I look back, I'm like, what the hell was I actually making? What kind of idea was that? But yeah, that's my weird, interesting game developer story. But yeah, nice to meet you all.
Awesome. Thank you. Isaac, jump in.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Yeah,
Tell us an Amazon story.
Okay, sorry, I don't have any Amazon story. So my name is Isaac Elinam. I originally come from Ghana and Nigeria, so I'm mixed. So probably my English will be quite different from yours, but you try and pardon my English. So
That's okay.
so basically, yeah. How did I get into gaming? Currently, what I do is I build games, build interactive content like Acvis. We're doing games currently, and recently we had the opportunity to dabble into the film industry. So we're currently working on a live action animated film where we have human beings and a CG character. So I had the opportunity of being the visual effects director and executive producer and animator as well. So basically, currently that's what I've been doing. But on the long side, I develop games, or we develop games as well. How did I get into the game industry? I originally come from a media house. Like my uncle had this whole studio where he was editing, he was doing a whole lot of uh, art space and all. So I grew up in that kind of like tech, computers around, softwares around, and all that. So basically, after secondary school, I decided that okay, I want to go into programming, but at the same time, I love design. So I said, okay, let me just combine these two fields. Then that's how I got into the game industry. So my first game was Black Sheep. It was a full 3D animated film and game, which I used on Unreal Engine for. Had the opportunity to be interviewed in the Ghanaian television space. That's how I got into the whole gaming. And my next game was Tales of Hassan, which won the MTN's Apps Challenge, I think in 2015. Then since then, I've been concentrating more on games for educational purposes. So currently, my current contract is with the Ministry of Education in Ghana, where we are developing games centered around the COVID pandemic, and also we did some animations for them as well. So basically, that's my story for now.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Quickly jumping into Oscar. Oscar, you want to jump in?
Yeah, so my name is Oscar Michael. I'm the co-founder for Africa Communicate. Africa Communicate is a platform for African creatives in the games, animation, comics, and X. What we're doing is we're trying to showcase this talent, learning for collaboration as well as. So I've been in the games industry for 5 years, and I got in through EdTech basically. So I was head of operations for Center for Tech. That's like a tech center in Lagos, Nigeria, that trained teenagers and youth in game development, animations, app development, mainly. I basically tried my hands all through. Started out with Construct 2. That's I built games using that. I taught children. And I moved on to Unity, wrote the Unity exams and all. And I think the interesting thing about my story basically is, so all through those years working, building games, working with other stakeholders to organize events, I got the question, how do I make money from games? And how many game developers, how many African game developers out there are billionaires? And so that question stopped me because back then, since 2012, I think the biggest was Kuluya. Then we had Kulia was valuated to like $2 million back then in 2012. Then we had Letty Arts, and after those two big names, I really couldn't mention many more. So that's where I stopped. I moved into entrepreneurship full time, came down to Ghana, West Africa, and now I'm back in the industry. And that's why I'm focusing more on entrepreneurship to help creatives make money, to show them the business side, get developed, and yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Finally, just the last two, Douglas, quickly jump in.
Yeah, hi everyone. Sorry, I have a camera mishap. My laptop, well, I guess
Yes.
hi. So I have a camera problem, but the screen is here. So, yeah, nice to meet you all. Yeah, Doug, Chief Community at Ludic. Passionate about gaming. Got into the gaming space, I guess, by chance. I guess business, the opportunity came up. But yeah, I guess I've been fortunate to have been, surrounded by people who have been in gaming. Nathan, and conversations do lead to something beautiful. So that's how I got myself into gaming. Also, given what do you call him? Andrew Kagia had done, with one of his first games. Yeah, so currently passionate about helping studios be able to generate revenue through gaming. Yeah, excited to be here. Looking forward to the conversation.
Awesome. Last but not least, Daniel. Are you ready?
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Yeah, so my name is Daniel Masharia. I'm a video game developer based in Nairobi. And I started game development in 2015, if I'm not mistaken. And currently I also teach video game design and development at the Africa Digital Media Institute. We're offering a program in conjunction with a French university called Rubica to offer game development classes in Nairobi.
Okay, awesome. So to dive right into it, I'll quickly just bring up Joanna because she has to leave. Just a quick introduction and thoughts on the game Wana Savana. I hope everyone got a chance. I hope everyone was able to play it. Come on, if you are not able, please quickly 5 minutes play it. But I know you all confirmed, so that's awesome. Yes, Joanna. Initial thoughts. What did you love? What didn't you love so much? Before we get into recommendations.
I didn't get your question.
No, just initial thoughts on the game. What did you love? What didn't you like as much?
Can you pass to someone else? I to give him a thought about that.
Okay, that's fine. to directly dive in, George, initial thoughts on the game. What did you like? What did you like so much?
I think I'm not sure if I'm wrong, but I think I've played the game in the past. Maybe Daniel can confirm this.
Yeah, George, you have.
Okay. Okay. Because I played it again, I'm like, is this the same game? It felt a bit different. I guess it felt updated. I don't know if you can.
So, George, I think you played the very first. You played the first one. So this is the third game I've developed. I think.
Okay. But I guess most of them are platformers. Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Okay. Then that makes a bit of sense because I felt a bit of familiarity. First thing I'll say is I loved the backgrounds. The backgrounds are really, really nice. I think the art and the backgrounds are really, really awesome. And for each scene, and it feels like it takes you to different places. So I like that a lot. I think the controls also pretty good. For platforming, I believe they're pretty tight. You jump when you need to jump, and again, it's back, forward, and jump. So I feel like the controls also work really, really, really well. The music is also really good. There are some times where it does stop. I'm not sure why, or maybe it could be a glitch or something, or something happened in the background, or maybe that was intended. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I think it's of course a really good game. I did enjoy it. The only thing I'll say is I got stuck on level 3 a lot. I'm not sure why, but there's a jump that I just couldn't make. And funny enough, is there's this red thing you collect at the beginning, right? I missed it, completed the level, and it told me you lost. And I was like, why? I just finished this thing. But I think there's like a slipper or something, or a red collectible you pick up at the beginning.
It's a tag. You know, like when you're giving somebody a gift, there's a tag where you write like the person's name. So you missed it.
Yeah. So I missed it, finished the level finally, and I was like, oh no, I have to go play this thing all the way back. But that's just one of the stories I had just playing the game. But I think it was a really good effort and a really good game.
Thank you, George.
Awesome, fantastic. Joanna, are you ready? Awesome. I think you might be on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes, perfect.
So I really like the art style. The music can be changed a little bit to avoid a little bit of looping, but the art and the choreo. So the reminder of the culture in the game was really great, actually, for what I played.
Okay, awesome. What did you like as much?
Well, as I said, the music can be change and have a little bit more of variety in the music to avoid the looping of the same beat.
Yeah. Daniel, any thoughts on that?
Yeah. So it's a comment I've gotten ever since I published the game. So first of all, what you have to realize is, as developers in Africa, we are basically developing these games on a shoestring budget. So right. So, and especially for me, like what you guys are talking about most, that you like most is the art. So I spent, I think, like 90% of the budget on the artwork for the game, So, and like the music was something of an afterthought. So it's just some track that I got online that is royalty free, and because I was sure that the creator wasn't going to come after me for more money now. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm going to, once I'm working on a remaster of the game. Once I'm done developing the remaster, I think now I'll look for a better soundtrack for the game.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I think that's great to hear, because we can see that there is a gap for music, video music for African games. So perhaps we should actually, Dean, Douglas, really think about as well, looking into having those type of creative as well, in collaboration and partnership, or supporting the games game.
Yeah. So and also on that note, I'd just like to say, like I mentioned, I teach at one of the colleges here in Nairobi, and I also, apart from having game development students, I also have some music. It's called music technology students, and I'm collaborating with them to work on soundtracks for my future game. So I think that's gonna be started now.
Thank you.
Awesome. Quickly getting into Oscar. Any thoughts on the game? I know you are a lover of backgrounds. I know you like interesting music. What do you think?
Yeah, can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, yes. I think I would follow Jojo in saying one thing that really struck me about the game is the simplicity. I liked and disliked at the same time the fact that the background was clear. It's like your focus was clear. You could see your character. You know what you're playing with. So that simplicity was okay. But then moving along through the various levels, at least to where I also first of all got stuck level 3, just as George. There was one jump and I was like, okay, something is wrong here. Yeah, so by getting to level 3, I began to feel like there should be a change, especially in the parallax background. And my eyes was able to follow through when the clouds come and the background was clear. So I like the simplicity, and at some point I expected some complexity to it. Maybe birds flying by or something. But yeah, the art style is also very okay. The buttons, there's something with the buttons. Maybe it's my screen, I'm not so sure. The graphics of the button looks blurred out a little, probably zoomed in or so, and it's not scaled properly. I don't know if it's my screen, but I could notice that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the assets for the buttons as well, I downloaded them. Like I mentioned, I was working on a shoestring budget. So most of the UI elements are things that I downloaded from sources online that were able to offer these assets for free. So I think that's why once if I the major challenge is that as an indie developer here in Africa and you're just starting up, you're not working with somebody. You don't have an in-house person to do these other tasks for you. Like you may be able to do the actual programming of the game, but in terms of things like the music, sound effects, even like the buttons you're mentioning for the UI, those are things that you have to sort of borrow from other online sources. So, and you find often when you get something that's not tailor-made for your specific for the specific task that you want, you won't find something that fits in exactly how you want. So even like for the buttons, it's the same thing. Like I just got something that could like almost like a placeholder, but ended up being more permanent. It's something I'm also going to work on.
Awesome. Douglas, are you there? Any thoughts?
Yeah, so I think for me it was the most interesting thing was when the game when it starts, it has a lady. So Masharia being a man, you'd have expected that by default the character would be a man. But I think that was interesting in terms of you've switched characters, you've gone from the norm or status quo, and then I think when you're playing the game, if you're moving and then you stop, I think the character dances. If I'm not wrong, Masharia. So typically in a game the person will be standing. But yeah, I think those were the interesting things I saw from the game.
Yeah. So Douglas, when you mentioned about the character, the main character being a lady, actually it's a small girl. Her name is Amani, which in Swahili means peace. Anyway, so being a lifelong video game developer, I realized that like 99% of the games I had played up to the time of conceiving the idea for Wana Savana featured male protagonists. The only I think notable female character we know about in video games is Tomb Raider's Lara Croft, if I'm not mistaken. And keep in mind, this was before games like The Last of Us, games like nowadays we have Horizon Zero Dawn. We have more games that are coming up with female protagonists, but at that time we never had female protagonists. And again, further than having games that have a female protagonist, we don't have a lot of games with female African protagonists. That's you're playing the game. The player character is a girl and is of African descent. So that's what led me to make that choice, make the main character of the game be female and also be African. It's something that I had never seen in a game ever before.
Okay, awesome, fantastic. Finally, Isaac, initial thoughts on the game. What do you think?
Well, I think I'll just hint a bit on what Oscar had earlier stated, which is it's a great game, but the artwork is a bit too simplistic, which I understand your point that, you're as a developer, you're always working on a shoestring budget. You don't really have even colleagues that are willing to lend you their skills. So I understand that point. It's a good game. It's a great game. I like how simple it is. I didn't get to level 3 as they all got stuck. I just got to level 2. So I think after this call, I'll try and go and check it further. But with the experience I had developing my game, which was Tales of Hassan, was the game mechanic. So I think probably next time you should invest a little bit more time in the game mechanic, because sometimes, excuse my language, you may have a shitty ass artwork, but if the game mechanics is great, if the character is about to jump, how does he anticipate and how do you translate that anticipation of jump through the game controls? If the character is picking up the calories as you play, how does what what is the feedback to the user playing the game through the controls that you've designed. So yeah, I understand you can borrow assets from online, blah blah blah, do all those things. Great job. But I think next time you should concentrate more on the game mechanics. When the game starts, you need to alert the users through their fingers what is going on. That is what we call the haptic feedback. Now phones are so sophisticated now that it's very easy for you to incorporate again. So you as an indie developer, art is not your strength. Stick to the programming and just better the game mechanic. That's my advice for you.
All right, thank you very much.
So that was Wana Savana for you. We had a really interesting time talking about it. But what do you think? What do you think about the game? Have you gotten a chance to play it? What do you think about the feedback the developer was given? What will you add to that? What will you remove to that? Please give us your thoughts in the comments below and stay tuned for next time on Jiwe Roundtables.